All right. Yeah, Freddie, it turns out for some reason the channel, but not the category, had the channel had no permissions for people basically. No one could see it but us.
Oh,
But the
that's good to
category,
hear then.
yeah. All right. So we'll just open it up to questions. If anyone has any questions, just raise your hand and I'll pull you up. It can be about basically anything.
Hey, yeah, Keleno here. Just a quick one. I know we've had a lot of, I guess, complaints or the same feedback about the listing being slow or just not updating. What's the technical reason? So I guess we can put it at peace for people who have the same question as to why it's not going as fast as we want, I guess.
Good question there. So the listings is pulled in through OpenSea, specifically the OpenSea API. And what happens is they sometimes do, sometimes OpenSea is down, as we all know, and sometimes they do changes to their API. So what seems to have happened now is they've done some throttling to the API endpoints, and we had to make some adjustments for that. So apologies for the interruption. We'll try to make sure that whenever this happens, whenever we see that there's changes either announced or done by the OpenSea team, we get alerted. The developers get alerted instantly, so you don't notice the outage.
All right, I appreciate that, man. So it's basically when OpenSea fucks up, we have some mess up for like the next hour or whatever until we see it, basically.
Yeah, something like that. So when OpenSea changes something, then the listings. That's why it was just the listings and not the other parts of the site, because the other parts are from the blockchain and the listings is coming from the API, from the OpenSea API. So yeah.
All right, I understand. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that was my first question, I guess. So I'll come back for more.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can just hang it up here. Anyone else have any questions? If not, I mean, that's never a bad thing. We're just answering questions without the need of an anime, hopefully. Hello.
Hello. I have some questions. First of all, when I see some listings like drug receipts, for example, you see the number and then you see some ranking. But if I use some other tools like Rarity Sniffer or Rarity Tools, they give me like different ranks. So I don't know why it's always different. I don't know what's the right one.
Yeah, so if it's on like Rarity Sniffer, or if it's a rarity that is uploaded by the collection creator, because they don't always they sometimes weigh things differently, and so we pull like statistically the rankings like based on percentages and everything, and if it's on like one of the official rarity sites where it's published by the person who created the collection, it may be different, and the one that they publish is then like obviously the correct one in their eyes, so like that's the one you should probably follow.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've heard about some of the inaccuracies in the rarity, and that's one thing
Yep.
that we've been working on.
So it's
Actually,
more like
there's also this the standardized rarity ranking method, which is basically how some of the other sites calculate rarities, and we've implemented that. Um, but what we'd like to see is um, you could if you could tell us specific collections that we can run the new algorithm for to test it, because then that would help us a lot, because we're looking for collections that have a difference between our rarity rankings and, let's say, rarity sniffers or rarity snipers rankings. So if you could send us some of those example collections that we could test for, Then we can have a look if everything's correct, and if everything's correct, then we can update the rarity ranking algorithm to match that of others exactly. If,
Yeah, sure. I will look through some collections and I will let you guys know.
yeah, just send
Um,
over three or four collections which have differing rarity rankings
yeah,
on other
yep.
side, and then we'll just run our new algorithm for those as well, see if everything checks out, and then update the rarity ranking basically.
Okay. My other question is, I really like the compass and all the analytics I get from it, so it's really nice. I also really like all the updates you guys are doing from the website itself. I see much improvement over the days. Um, my next question is there an opportunity that you guys do some whitelist collabs, or is it like, for example, if I'm in a group that I like, another group, I might want them to suggest to give Compass some whitelist because I think like we have a high floor price and we have limited holders, so I think it's good to do some collabs. But if I suggest it to the group, can I say something to them that we can provide as a website to them to give them as a collab, if that makes any sense?
Yeah, we were thinking about we were actually approached by a lot of other um, collections for collabs, whitelist specifically. So what we were thinking is we could offer them some sort of a calendar listing in exchange for whitelist spots. Um, but the discussion with Zu and me previously was that we'll have to highlight whenever we distribute whitelist spots across our holders that we
Mhm.
are, not affiliated with the collections that give us the whitelists. In the case that some collection approaches us, hey, do you want to have some whitelists? And it turns out that the collection doesn't do as well as hoped. Um, just so people are aware that just us handing out whitelists is not a guarantee that the collection succeeds.
Yeah.
Obviously, this might be obvious to most of you guys, but to some it might be not. But definitely, this is something that we're looking into.
Is it just something you can do, or is it something like you can say to the members? You can say like, if you can find somebody who wants to collab, you can say that we can provide something when they bring out their NFT. Like
Well,
we
if
can do
if
something for them, or
um, I guess like, what do you have in mind exactly that like we would be doing for them
yeah,
afterwards?
that's a thing I don't really figure it out. But I'm just thinking like we have like a website and we interact. I think more people than only the holders that we have. I think more people know about the website and use it. But I was just thinking like what can we provide to some new NFT groups that we can collab with them and we give them something in exchange. Yeah, from the website. That's what I was thinking like, but I don't know what, but I just figured out like we have something and maybe we can use it to get more out of it.
Yeah, I mean, if you have any if you know people looking to collab, just send them to. You can just send them the form that's in collab inquiries, and then I'll be able to work something out with them where like we'll find a way
Yeah,
to
okay.
exchange value.
Just let it over to you. Yeah, okay, that's fine. That was my question. So thanks for listening to me.
Yep.
Thank you.
And Doc, you can come on up.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's up?
Real quick, can you tell me how to say your name? Is it always? I don't even want to try it.
It's Wazoo.
Wazoo, got it. Perfect. All right. Yeah. So you know what, you guys, that Muri MURI, I was trying to do that public Dutch auction. I'm sure you guys are familiar with. The one that just launched and sold out in 1 minute.
Yeah.
That was intense and crazy, and it seems like anyone trying to mint from the website had no chance. And I know with Freddie here too, like maybe not now, but if we can maybe just somehow go over the different ways to mint, whether it's some contract, whether it's a RPC, which I'm just learning about,
I
And,
can
maybe
I
a
can
little
show you
tutorial.
guys how to do that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Is that something you could do now, or are you saying just maybe
Not
send
right
it?
now probably, because
Yeah.
like
So just
maybe
maybe if
yeah, like soon
yeah,
after in
send
the
me
coming
any
days.
organized AMA, you know, so we all have time to come.
I can just record
Yeah,
a
I think that would be
video and
amazing.
give it to you guys. Post it
Awesome,
on
awesome.
YouTube or something.
All right, and then just another comment. I'm not sure where you guys stand as far as the latest updates and everything, but one thing I noticed, as far as listings go, some of them are way off. Are you familiar with that? Or if that, I don't know if that's OpenSea, but they used to,
Are
from what I
the
recall, like the Compass listings, the percentage-wise, the total listed, would usually be a little lower than what OpenSea said, but now I'm finding some of them are like half of what OpenSea is saying,
is
right?
this
So like,
happening? Are you seeing this right now, or was it earlier today?
no, I was seeing it right now too.
Could you send a link with the compass link for the collection into the bug reports? Because yesterday we had some issues with the OpenSea API, and that might be it why it's happened.
Okay, so this is something I've noticed for the past maybe 3 or 4 days, and then I
Mhm.
checked this morning. I saw it still there, and I'll check again when I get a second. I'm just on the phone right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. When
So
you get the chance, please send
yeah,
it to the
of
bug
course.
reports.
Where can I post it? You
What
said?
could have happened is that there was an issue with the OpenSea API
Yeah, that's what I
for a
figured.
period, and then those collections that were listed during that period might not have been pulled in by Compass, but we can run it backwards so it syncs correctly.
Okay, and then what's the latest update on just general timing relative to like listings and sales showing compared to OpenSea? I remember you guys were always the fastest, and then since you guys launched the paid version, something changed. Has that been fixed, or where do we stand on that?
On the speed of the listings appearing on Compass.
Yeah, listings and sales, the speed of them appearing on Compass relative to OpenSea.
Well,
Both
if there's no interruptions, we should still be fine. It should take
should be
around
faster.
4 to 8 seconds
Okay.
for the listings to appear from the moment that the person clicks.
Okay, I'll look into that again. Perfect.
But that should still be faster than OpenSea is.
Okay, perfect. And then awesome. Was there anything else I missed? I just came in like 5 minutes ago. Any major points? Any major updates?
Nothing
We've done
crazy.
some optimizations in the last week. We've
Okay.
done big bug rundowns, so we fixed a lot of bugs and done optimizations, and we're also updated the social information. You'll be
Oh, is that working now?
seeing an update for that. You'll
Okay.
be able to see notable influencers that mentioned any given collection. So if you go to
Okay.
the social tab, you'll be
Okay.
able to see which influencers follow that collection and mentioned it. So that's something that we are working on right now.
Okay.
And the valuation algorithm is almost finished, so that should be coming in the next week.
That's for like a break-even point, or what do you mean valuation?
So basically, we've created an algorithm that uses a machine learning model to estimate the value of any
Oh,
NFT in any given collection based
based
on
on
its,
properties. Okay. Okay.
yeah, exactly, on past
That's
sales.
amazing. Okay. Yeah, I remember you guys talking about that.
Yep. So that should be coming now, basically next week.
Okay. And then I think I've asked before. I think it was in the making. Just to filter out the say listings and not really the sales, mainly the listings. If you wanted to say like less than or equal to 0.2, so you don't want to see any listings coming above a certain point. Is that still in the making?
For the chart or for the table?
For the table with listings that we're just talking about, how quickly they show up, those same ones. If I wanted
Nice.
to say when I'm trying to just kind of compare the listings, the way I normally do it that's been successful a few times I've tried is just watching listings and sales come in, usually like right after mint, and I just try to see the velocity. I'm trying to basically apply everything I might know to like day trading stocks, and just I'm trying to watch the velocity of the listings relative to the velocity of the sales, and I use that
Yeah,
watching it go up and down. But now,
as
of
an
course, when I'm
indicator
watching the
for
listings velocity, I have to try to ignore the ones that say if the floor price is 0.2, I want to know everything like below a certain resistance level, you know. So if someone lists for 2 ETH, I don't want to see that because that's going to throw off my mind. So that's what I was talking about. If we could
Okay,
just put
that's a
like
good point
less than,
actually.
okay.
That's a good point actually. Could you possibly mention that in the feature requests?
Yeah, I'll take care of that as soon as I find a computer.
Because I find that really interesting. I think that's a good use case. So
You know
we
what
could
I'm talking
definitely
about, right?
implement that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I just
Okay.
adding the filter out new listings above X amount, and then they don't pop up on the live listings table.
Okay. All right. Yeah. What I had a few other ideas, but I'll just, I think I'm gonna try to maybe, if I just write a few paragraphs, can I post that somewhere or just post the document?
You just throw it in feature
Paragraph and
requests.
suggestion.
Sorry.
You'll be able to
You
just
can
post it in feature requests, the channel.
Okay, that's fine.
And
You
then,
got it. You got it.
yeah, we can just read it.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. I love everything you're doing.
Yeah.
As you know, I try to come on board, but I understand my history is a little limited. So I'm really glad that you've obviously found someone that can be much better than me. And I look forward to see what's coming from that.
Thank you, Doc.
All right,
Yep.
thank you.
Thanks for the feedback. JHS, I'll get you up here next. Hey man, what's up?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hey, thank you. First of all, great product, man. I'm using it extensively. I'm just a starter, but still gives me a lot of insights. Uh, I just wanted a couple of features. I mean, first of them was it's a wrong sentence that I'm going to make, but like contract verification, which by that I mean is there are many CAM collections on OpenSea, I guess, and when I search on our search bar, those were also coming in, right? And
Scam collections.
yeah, so this happened to be on the day of Guni's Gang when Compass was open and for free for public, right? And I
Yeah.
searched for Guni's Gang and the wrong one came up and I kind of scammed myself, let's say.
Yeah, that should be better now. There's an update that's been pushed through where when you're searching a collection in the search bar, you can now see the volume of the collection next to it, and it sorts it by volume now. So it prioritizes the most used contract.
Yeah, so basically, if you see a volume of 0 point something ETH, and it's a big collection, that basically means it's a scam version of the real thing. And if you see
yeah.
2,000 ETH as the volume, that tells you, hey, this might be the real deal. But it's always good to double check.
Yeah, I learned it. I learned my lesson. Costing
Sorry
0.22
to hear that.
ETH, but that's fine. The second one is if is it possible for you for some kind of a when the collection is not revealed, right? Like a stock market, I can put in a price that I want to buy that collection, any NFT in that for, and if that matches, the buy automatically happens. Is that
Yeah, the issue with that is that basically you need to sign any transactions from MetaMask,
absolutely?
and we cannot sign any transactions on your behalf. So we could set that up for you, but then you would have to have your browser on
Mhm.
and click sign on your MetaMask when that triggers. Because the only other ways would be for us to ask for your secret phrase, which is a absolute no-go. So basically, it's impossible to do.
Okay, and then is there a possibility that I get a email or something or some notifications without my browser being open that it has reached this price, this collection?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can do that.
we have
but,
alerts for that actually. That's live. You can
we
get
have an
that.
alert for when floor price moves below a certain point. So basically, that's when an NFT gets listed that is below a certain point, and you get notified on Telegram or Discord.
Yeah,
that.
and you can get a webhook link that you can then set it up to where it'll send it to you through an email or text.
It's already there.
Yes, in alerts.
Oh man. Okay. Thank you. Those were the two things I wanted. Thank you very much, and the awesome product and the turnaround time, right? When there were problems with Compass/OpenSea, the turnaround was awesome, man. So thank you very much.
Thank you for the questions.
Thank you. Mo World, I'll get you up here next. Hey.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Hey, what's up, guys? First off, I would also like to say that I love Compass. I love the website, and I'm a big fan of the the new aesthetic that you guys put in after mint. I just had a question. So regarding wireless collabs, are you guys planning on having those allocated towards holders or the community at the whole mass of the community, or do you guys plan on doing like half and half, as half for the holders or majority for the holders and then the rest for the community?
Those would be going to the holders of the lifetime pass. That's one of the main perks of having a lifetime pass.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool.
Any other questions?
No, no other questions. Awesome. All right. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Yep. Kilano, I'll get you back up here.
Hey, yeah, just actually had a few more questions, and I picked up a few from the feature request. So one personal question: in when you're in analytics, so we have the listing page, we have the sale page, and we can select a time frame on, let's say, the sale and listing charts, right? It would be nice if we could have amount of listed and amount of sold in the time frame that we're looking at, which would be really good to tell us how momentum is going. So if I check on the last minutes, and now I see I'm negative on sales to listing, then I know, it's probably gonna start going down, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like
So this is on which page again?
Sorry, say it again.
Which page is this on again? Or which page you can see
So
this
I
on?
mean, if I'm on analytics, so you have the listing and sales live columns.
Mhm.
I would like to have, in the middle between, for example, based on a time frame that I choose, to know how many listings and sales have happened. So if there is a negative, listing to sales ratio, I know that the floor is going to drop, basically. Or if there's still a positive sale ratio, I know we're pumping. If I could
And
check
we
that
could
on a
have
1
a
minute, 5
selector
minute,
for
15
that.
minutes,
Yeah, maybe we could have that included in the chart, in the sales to listing chart.
that could also just be as simple as like a percent change to the amount of things listed in a collection.
I think the real number is probably what we would be really looking at rather than the percentage, Because on the 1 minute, for example, I would be looking at it like, really heavily when the mint comes out. And then, I don't know. I'm looking at the chart and I can see, well, they're starting to get more blue dots than green dots. But
Mm-hmm.
like it's just a guess, right? Whereas if we had a number, if you check on this 5 minute, well, you had 600 sales, 400 listing, you're plus 200 up.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. I like that. We could have those two numbers some integrated somewhere above or below the sales and listing charts. So when you choose the selector for the
Yeah,
period, then which simply show the numbers for that. I think that's
exactly.
quite simple to implement, and that's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
good
yeah.
point actually.
Yeah. Okay, so that was question one. Question two, in the watch list, so the collection that I am watching, I cannot move them up and down. I have to go back, delete everything, and select them in the specific order to have them in a specific order. Is it possible to just have a toggle where we can move a watch collection up or down in the list?
Yeah, we could. This is for the collections watch list, correct?
Yes, that's right.
Yes, absolutely. I think that should be doable. Maybe you could set an order somewhere, instead of just the sorting features that we have right now.
Yeah, exactly right. Okay, sounds easy. I've got another one on the item tabs. So, where I will be able to look at the trades and all that stuff. And thank you for moving the trade bar on the left hand side. That's a lot better. But with the
Yep.
floor price, the over the top tab on the analytics is really practical. I've got the floor, token listed, supply, average price. When I go to items, that bar disappears. So for me to check the floor price, which is really important when I'm really trying to snipe a rare on reveal, for example, I have to go back to analytic, which means loading the page again, etc., etc. Could we
So
keep
you'd
that
like
tab?
to see the floor price on the items somewhere.
Yeah, the top bar, the top tab that stays, that has floor price, token listed, supply, average price, volume, and 30-day volume. That could just stay on every tab realistically, pretty much, and that would be just as good.
Yeah, but
know?
then but then it would clash with the on the mint page. We have a different top.
Oh, maybe not
But
on the
then
main
we have
page,
sub.
but on the trade page, I think it's really important.
Yep, on the
On
trades
the
and
items, sorry,
page,
items,
items
items.
page. Yeah, we could have that. Yeah, that's a good point too.
And
Sure, we can have that implemented.
Okay, great. And great. That's question 2. I've got. Oh yeah, on the same page, on the item page, if I zoom in or zoom out, it's going to make the tabs smaller, but it doesn't actually make the NFTs smaller. Is it possible to have more rows? Like it's 5 NFT per row, right? No
Yep.
matter how much you zoom or zoom in or zoom out, I would really like to be able to have more than 5 per row. So, for example, on OpenSea, when you zoom out, it's actually going to put more NFTs per row.
Let me check real quick. So if I go to OpenSea,
If you go
and
to
I
any
zoom
collection, you check the floor. When you zoom out,
yeah, good point.
it's
Yeah,
going to put
actually,
more NFTs per row, right?
Yeah.
Instead of zooming in and out quite
Do you
clunkily.
have these suggestions written down somehow?
Yes. I mean, I've got
They're
them all.
all really good points. And if you could add them all to the feature suggestions.
Okay, I'll give you one more though, and then I will give them all to you. In the item tab as well, when you select several traits, there is a price clearing option, but there is no trait selection clearing option. So I have to unselect all the traits to empty it. Can we add a clearing section on tab on that?
Absolutely.
Beautiful. And then one person asked as well, news on the app, because they struggle to use Compass from the mobile browser.
Yeah, news on the app. It's coming. We are still in the process of getting the developer for that. But once we have that, it should be a fairly simple process. So please hang in there.
Any ETA? Rough?
Cannot give you an ETA as of now, unfortunately, but I will make sure to come forward with an ETA when it's appropriate.
All right. Well, that's the questions I got from myself and the community, so I'll pose them back to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll get T free up here.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. How are
Hey
you?
man.
Awesome. I just want to start off saying great job. I love the product. I love how you guys are consistently upgrading it and changing it based on the community's ideas. One thing I wanted to mention that someone brought up earlier about some of the notifications. One, I think the most powerful notification part I use is the webhooks, and I'm not sure if anybody has ever heard of if this then that. So you can actually plug in the webhook from if this and that, and then you can do a lot more with it, right? So if you wanted to get a phone call anytime, a certain wallet minted, or the floor price changes, you can use all those configurations within the webhook functionality of if this then that, and it's a free tool.
Is this like Zapier?
I think so. It's but again, you can choose all these custom rules that if that webhook is hit, you can choose what action you want to follow. So like again, it's called if this then.
Yeah, I'm just
that.
looking at their website.
And it's free to use too. They have a premium feature, but like some of the base use. So like I've set up a few times whenever a floor changes on a certain project, it'll call me directly. So I'll get a phone call and say, hey, this webhook was just initiated. So it's something people might want to look into that might be helpful.
Yep. This is actually a good point. This is basically what we wanted the webhook functionality for. So yeah, we are spot on.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
What we could do is maybe highlight some use cases for this. So yours is excellent, getting a phone call when the floor price moves below a certain point, and so much more that we don't support natively on Compass yet. What we could do is, or maybe what you could help us with is writing how exactly you do it, using if this and that. Um, so maybe that could help the community members benefit from that as well, because I think this is a very good use case that possibly not everyone is aware about.
Yeah, absolutely. I can help with that.
Yeah, so I think this would be great. But
And
I'll
again,
follow up on the DMs with you about that later on.
yeah, and again too. So like that's just one use case. So any of the alert triggers, whether it's a wallet, action, you could trigger, a bunch of different things based off that. If you really wanted to, you could have, if anybody has any like smart lights or anything like that, if Gary V bought something, it could change a smart light to a certain color. So I mean, that's how creative you can kind of get with it. So it's a cool tool.
Yeah,
Like I
exactly.
said, I've got everything already set up, so I can easily document how to set up that process.
Yeah, I think that would be an excellent piece of work about the use case of this. So yeah, I'll write you a DM about that after the AMA.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yep, thanks. Blockchain Panda, I'll get you up here.
Just a comment on the previous request. Technically, we cannot show you the listings compared to prices to the trades and that's going to be a wrong metric for you, because I can be listing on 1 Ethereum when the floor is 0.2 and the sales are 0.2, and I list 200 on 1 Ethereum, and the floor is going to be going up, although there are like a 50 sales and they're buying just the floor at the bottom. So the only reasonable thing we probably can add is the number of total listings right now for your given price range, and eventually a price range filter or any kind of filter on there, and a total and list of trades in that number. Everything else is going to be it's going to be outside of it's going to be science fiction technically, and not correct, mostly misleading.
So this is about the filtering the listings by listing amount.
Yeah. So other tools. So no one is showing more information than just total number of listings and eventually total number of listings for some price range, or up to certain price, for example, that are live. Because everything else is really hard to be done, and it involves a lot of calculations. It can be wrong actually in majority of cases, because people are buying on different amounts and different prices, and people are listing on different prices too. The fact that someone is listing a lot doesn't mean that the people are buying, but they're not buying that much a lot, doesn't mean the floor is gonna go down. The simple example that I give in the beginning is just proving that, because if everyone is listing on 1 Ethereum, like 100 people, and two or 5 people are buying the last 10 pieces of let's say 0.2, technically floor is going to go to 0.3 or 0.45, although we have 200 more listings than trades. So that's why I was saying everything else is, maybe I misunderstood what's the requirement there, but the only reasonable thing is to show a total number of listings right now, or if people have put price filter up to that price range.
Yeah, I think this will only apply to the new listings showing up. So simply new listings that are above a certain number will not be shown if the listing's enabled, and for the charge it will also just be a number for the new listings in a period. So I think that should be straightforward, but I think we'll discuss that in detail with the team later on as well on how it can be implemented.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
I'll get Doc back up here. Hello.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, perfect. So, yeah, just touching on what the last guy was saying, and then also based on what I was saying with the less than or equal to and greater than equal to, as far as listings go. I think basically what he's saying is like the total percent listed. It'd be nice to be able to filter that, right? So say say the floor price is right around like just under 0.2, and I want to see total listings coming in under 0.2. Aside from seeing total number of listed and percentages, it'd be nice to know the total percentage listed under that same 0.2 parameter I just punched in. So I think based on what he's saying and what I'm thinking now, that makes sense as well, and it might be real simple because it wouldn't even take more space if we were to do the listings less than or greater than. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
perfect. So yeah, I'll mention that too when I
work
write it up. But that's but it seems like it comes together now that he mentioned it. It really made sense. And also, Wasu, I talked to you about the 1155 tokens. I wanted to mention it again with Freddie and see what his thoughts were. Freddie, basically, we don't have 1155 tokens, so on Compass, so I was hoping they would come. But also, the way you have the resistance levels for listings, right? For any 721 token, you could see how many are listed at each level, and it's equivalent of a level 2 wall in day trading. Obviously, we can't do that on the bid side, which is the buy side, because where listings are showing you a wall where everyone listed, but you can't see where people want to buy in a wall for that, because that's just not how it is that's not how it is for 721. But 1155 it is, and we can actually create a whole buy wall. You know what I mean? And you can see the support levels from the buy wall from 1155 token. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Actually, you've touched on a good point there because for the 1155 support, we need it's not just changing some code and bam, we're supporting
No. So I
1155.
know you plan on doing it. It shouldn't be too hard, but then just keep in mind
we
that
have to think
listings
about
level 2 wall, the bid wall would be amazing, because then I could see both sides, right?
Yeah, exactly. So there's some inherent differences between 1155 and 721. I think
Yeah,
1155 is sort of trading similar to as a traditional cryptocurrency or any other stock because there's a couple of NFTs in a collection and they just are multiples of each other. So
Yeah, I understand.
basically,
Okay.
we'll have to but this is an excellent point.
Yeah,
We'll
so
have to
if
make
you are
some
able to
interface
incorporate it, I
changes
think
for.
you would definitely benefit from being able to do the other side of the walls as well.
Yeah, we'll have to do some interface changes for the 1155 support. I think this is something that we'll do for sure. Showing a buy wall side, not just a sell side.
Exactly. Because I mean, if there's also like say for compass.art, say it's the floor price is 0.6, and say there's 100 people that want to buy at 0.55, I could reasonably assume it's not going below 0.55 because that's one hell of a wall to go through. You know what I mean? So I feel like that could really help. Awesome, I appreciate it. And then also another thing is just like communities in general for NFTs. Like I noticed one thing about trying to find like-minded people in a community. The hardest part is that when there's so many people, not everyone can be on the same page. And I think this community just naturally having only 1,000 NFTs and obviously less number of owners, I feel like you really naturally have a strong community. And I think it'd be amazing just to somehow take advantage of that, you know? I know it's not a traditional project where you're trying to bring people in to build up a community, but we seem to be in the best position with this type of situation. So are you familiar with Goobers? They have like a rewards program. Any of you guys?
I'm not personally.
Okay, so basically it's kind of like an internal token, right? No fiat value, no securities issue. But basically they like every 8 hours or so you can come into one channel, just type in work, and it'll give you like a job. It'll say you collected this much sludge. That's their token. Collect you can do every 24 hours. They let you play like a blackjack bot to like gamble a little bit of it. But the whole point is that this is how they do their launchpad for whitelist, right? So now they'll have a full out store. And as you accumulate, you have an option to, depending on how much you have an option to buy whatever you can afford, which is usually a different whitelist. So it's just something I wanted to just run across you guys to consider. Because like I said, this community is just as unique as it is, as niche as it is. and the fact that you're not even really going for community, you just want to focus on the software. I mean, that's what really brings the community together, you know? We all came for the same reason, whether you tried or not. And I just think it'd be amazing to build on the community. So just along the lines of that, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, we'll definitely be doing more to just make this community more of like a standout community in the future.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of
Because
we're still in the transition phase coming off
okay,
of
yeah. No, yeah, I know obviously you got plenty of other stuff to do first, but I just want to keep that in mind that there's something definitely worth taking advantage of.
Yeah,
Also, like say
definitely.
other projects, you know, like when I'm taking a risk and I have an NFT and I want to bring new people in, like I have no guarantee, you know. I'm like I don't like I may not know it may not be docs, they may be, but there's no guarantee on what's gonna happen. And there's too many variables. But this is one software I believed in from day one and I could push anyone towards it. And like I have absolutely no holdbacks on bringing people in, you know. So I just again that's just the natural community that came about because it was revolving around a software that we all love. So yeah, awesome. I appreciate you guys listening.
Yeah, thanks for your feedback.
Thank you very
No,
much.
always,
Good
always,
point.
always. Yeah, definitely. And I'm like I said, I'm gonna write up everything on a proper Word document just so it's easier to read. All right,
Yeah,
thank you again.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so that seems to be everyone. So we will probably wrap up the AMA there. I have this recorded, so I will just end up posting probably like the MP3 for it in announcements once we get that edited and stuff. So thank you guys for coming and asking your questions and showing your support.
Thank you guys.